Hey, good afternoon, Lenny. I was just curious to see what was at the end of this road. It might just be a dead end. I wasn't sure if there was like maybe a trail up here. Oh no. No, it dead ends in like a couple of feet up there. So. I'm just gonna back up and turn around. I wanted to see if there was like a little park up here because it looked like there could be on the map, but it's just houses. Very narrow road to turn around in. This is all part of van life. You gotta like explore your surroundings to try and find alternate places to be able to sleep at night and drive to that you know that you can safely park and not get kicked out, other than iOverlander, because there's only so many places on iOverlander you can camp at, and sometimes other campers will be in those spots, so it's always good to find like other alternate places, which is what I'm doing before I have to be at work. I'm kind of doing it on my way to work. Oh yeah, the van's still driving well. It idles very rich sometimes still because it has the evap issue, and I checked my hoses as much as I possibly could without having a smoker or anything. I couldn't find anything, but I think I might just have a bad sensor because it doesn't do it all the time. And I feel like if it was, you know, like a leak or something, it would just leak all the time. It wouldn't, you know, do it occasionally. Yeah, I was really hoping there was going to be a little campsite / park up there because this is a really beautiful place here in the mountain. And technically I could probably get away with that pull off right there. There's no signs that say that you can't stay there overnight. And if I was desperate, no one's gonna, like, what are they gonna do? Tell you to leave? They can't tow you while there's somebody inside the van. It's illegal. So if I'm living in the van and I'm physically in my van, they can't tow me. There's nothing that they can do. Alright, so what I'm doing now is we're gonna hop on the highway here and just drive down for probably about, I'd say maybe about 15 miles to where I'm like maybe 25-30 minutes away from my job, and then look around those places for good campsites, because I want to try and find a few good, you know, spots to park out. I want to find a good spot, like, you know, a little bit away from my job, but not too far from my job. The other thing too right now is it is extremely windy out. So anything over 60 miles per hour for me, I'm getting blown all over the road. This thing drives like a sailboat. What's up, Sam Split? Hope all's well, dude. And I guess keep your fingers crossed. Keep your fingers crossed. They said that they would try and come take the stuff out of my van today. I'll feel a lot better once they get all of the stuff out of here. It'll be one step closer to next Thursday. If they don't come take the stuff out of the van today, I guess, you know, I'll just have to wait another day or two. But it'd be nice to be able to start cleaning bumpy ride today. This, my phone mount isn't like, for whatever reason, it won't tighten anymore, but it's still very loose. And I think it might have gotten damaged when it fell those few times with the phone in it. So it just seems like things are bumping around a little bit more because it's not tight. It's a really beautiful drive. I have officially been not drinking my tea now for about, I'd say, 4 days. My percolator broke, so that's fun. Percolator broke actually around the same time that the van broke. I came home from work on Saturday night, and I was like, oh, I'm going to brew some tea for the next week, and then about an hour later, I came out to unplug it because usually it's done. And the entire 100 cup percolator was on the floor. It had leaked out because there's a leak in there in the percolator apparently. So now I'm drinking coffee, which I'm not really a fan of, but it's alright. It's all good. I can drink coffee too. I just don't really care for the taste of coffee. Coffee also doesn't really give me as much energy. You know what, like if I was gonna travel with a percolator in my van, I would not have been able to have the percolator that I currently have because it's a little too big and uses too much energy. So if they don't have one smaller than like 30 cups, then I probably just will like go without, you know. It's got to be small so it can like be put away in storage. 100 cups is very tall. Those are those big industrial looking ones. Oh, we're slowing down. Somebody's towing a literal house on the back of a truck. They could probably barely fit through here. At least they're fixing the roads here because these roads are shit. Heading up to probably about another 12, 13 miles on this road in search of some camp spots within like 20 to 25 minutes away from my job. I just want to have like at least 12 to 13 options each night around my job. So if I go to one and, you know, there's somebody already camped out there, then I can like just go to another spot. I also can camp out at my job anytime I want, but I prefer not to. Nobody wants to live at their job. Plus, I want to have like a nice view every night. Drive over 70 miles per hour on the highway, man. The wind is very unforgiving if I try and speed. I've never really driven a vehicle before this big. For as long as I have to experience wind, it's like the van is like a giant sail on a sailboat. And it's like really hard to keep the steering wheel straight. You can probably hear the wind actually. There's like these gusts that come out of fucking nowhere. Hiking a little bit before I go to work each day. I mean, most state park campsites you'll be able to camp next to trails and stuff, but sketchy gust. It's incredibly sketchy wind right now. I think there will be no hurricane hunting or tornado hunting in this van. We'll be the first thing to get picked up. Blown over. Cylinders breathe nice and smooth. I also last night added fuel injector cleaning to my gas tank when I refueled it, and I will say I've noticed a humongous difference in my acceleration. I think that maybe I had a couple clogged injectors, but it doesn't feel that way anymore. I bought like some really good premium injection cleaner, acid stuff or whatever. Feels better and sounds better. So I guess like all it needed was that new distributor and cleaner. gas station here. It's a truck stop. So any truck stop you can stay the night, and that place has showers. So if I need to take a shower and I don't feel like going to the gym, right off of there I could stay for the night. And they, I believe they have a Subway and Dunkin' Donuts in there as well. Still a little bit too far away from my job, but it would work. Especially in the winter time. I mean, like, if you're like living out of your van, right, and you have to like still drive to and from work, it's better than just be closer. Like, if I was already living in my van during winter, I think honestly in those situations I would take my boss up on the offer and just stay at my job, you know. Why risk driving in that kind of winter weather just to find a camp spot for the night? You know, just stay put. That's another thing too. So like, say it's crazy cloudy out for like 3 or 4 days and I can't charge my lithium batteries in the back. If I'm running low on batteries, oh shit, hold on. That was a big gust right there. If I'm running low on batteries, I can stay at my job and just plug in short power to the side of the building. And then I can stay the night and it will charge my batteries overnight. So I will be using my job sometimes for those situations. Not everybody has this concern is they just want me to be able to show up to work each day, so it's a lot of wind gusts. The wind is coming from about the northwest, so every single time I'm like up the side going that direction, so now you're not going to feel it as much anymore. Yeah, definitely no storm chasing in this van. Not unless I plan on becoming one with the storm. But I do take that back. I'll probably be winter storm camping, not chasing, but camping, winter storm camping in it eventually, but it's a little bit different. You're not going to find a tornado in a winter storm. At least I don't think you will. case. I'm gonna need one for my fireplace. Be able to shovel out ashes that might form at the bottom of it. And then also, like, if I'm at a campground and I can build a campfire, I need a shovel. I also need a little tiny hatchet to cut wood. I'm gonna get all that stuff though at like Harbor Freight or you know, maybe Cabela's or Bass Pro Shop. That way I can go in and look at what they have. I want to get like a really good durable and high quality one, something that's not gonna break on me. Decide what's worse, Pennsylvania roads or New York roads. I think they're almost about the same, but I will say this, like, most of the back roads in New York aren't as bad as their highways, but in Pennsylvania, all of their back roads are just shit. Like all the non-main roadways. Makes you wonder, what do they spend all those vehicle inspection money on if it's not the roads? They get about $32 a year per car on the road in New York. Or per state resident anyways. So like, what are they doing with the tax money? So we're almost to like an exit I was going to get off on. It's still about 20 to 25 minutes away from my job, but I'm going to get off on the exit anyways and see if there's, you know, any decent camp spots along there. There's also a state park I wanted to pull into and check out. It'd be really cool to find a camp spot like right on the lake. It's like a big lake out there. I'd really like to find a camp spot there. it looked like there was like a lot of like rural area, and with that sometimes you can find camp spots. Right up here there's a state park. This is a state park. I see a bench up here with one of those state park cooking grill things. Looks like they got the gate shut. Oh, this is a trail. Oh, cool. So here's the trail. Are there any signs here for no overnight parking? There's bathrooms right there too. Public bathrooms. I see no signs here. It's not that big of a pull-off, but I'll tell you what, I probably would be able to park here overnight, no problem. All right, so here's one. Let me mark. I'm gonna drop a pin. I'm gonna drop a pin on my GPS. I accidentally bumped my key when I moved my shifter. I guess I gotta watch out for that. I like hit the key back. Alright, so I just dropped the pin here on my Apple Maps. So here's a good spot. On the GPS here that there's going to be more spots this way. And there should be a big lake up here as well. So there's also a public turnoff place up here to the left. It's like one of those state pull-off and texting zone things right up here. See the sign, parking area to the left? That is another overnight spot. If you're in a pinch, if you want to be right off the road, but probably gonna just be all houses, but take it anyways. Who knows? There could be like a little park in this neighborhood. It's public. That's just just home parking. This is right on the lake. Sorry about the signal. We're like in the valley in between mountains right now, so that's what Starlink will come in handy for. I'll have signal in these types of places. So I couldn't find any public camping spots by the lake up there. It's all private houses and lots of vacation rentals too, I noticed. So I'm still roughly about 20 minutes away from my job here, so anything I find in this area would be close enough. I'm keeping an eye on my map because I have it to where it'll show me public parks, state parks, public parks. It looks like there's a canoe and kayak rental place up here. That would be cool until I get my my own kayak. I'm gonna do like an inflatable kayak, I think. So right up here on the right. Yeah, the little kayak rental place right here, that's cool. I'll be doing a lot of those type of activities this summer, for sure. Alright, I want to turn around, because I want to go over that little bridge right there. It looked like there might be some little cool places. Turn left right here. Here's the kayak place. There's a river that runs out to that lake. So that's private property. So another cool thing that you can do too is you can look up zoning maps for like the town. So if I find like a town owned property, then you can park there as long as there's no signs. If there's no signs, they can't tow you or they can't kick you out. So we're just doing a little loop-de-loo right now around this river. At some point there's going to be a park or something, you know. Now, also keep in mind, there are some spots on the iOverlander app in these areas that I already know about, so I already have some spots because of the iOverlander app, but I'd like to find more myself, which is what I'm doing. I'd like to give myself at least 12 to 13 options which don't include like staying at a Planet Fitness parking lot for the night or a Walmart parking lot. Like actual camp spots, you know. And then actually, if I wanted to, I can mark them on the iOverlander app to let other van lifers know. Which, more than likely, if I find a couple really good spots, I'm not going to post them on iOverlander because I'm going to want to stay at those spots as much as I possibly can. But when I get ready to start traveling full time and I'm not going to be in these areas anymore, then I can mark them on the iOverlander app and, you know, make it public knowledge at that point that you can camp here. You don't want to like lose your camp spot and make it busy if, you know, you're counting on going there all the time. Not really running into much out here, so we're gonna hit a right down this road. It's gonna circle around back the other way. So this road goes all the way to the edge, but this is all housing. Also too, I don't know if people know this or not, but if you go on the Airbnb app, occasionally you'll find places for van life campers on there. So like somebody might have a very large property that is in a nice place and they'll rent out for the night their like little lot right there that you can just go park on, which is also pretty cool depending on the area that you're in. It's another tool that you can use, and a lot of times too they'll offer power, like short power and a hose, so you can fill your water tanks up. Those come in handy. Sounds like I have a turn signal bulb out. I don't think so. I think they just are very fast. I checked the other day. I did both of them, and on the front and the back, all my bulbs are still working. I think maybe just these older vans were just quick, you know, quick sounding like that. It's on both sides. So there's a little pull-off right here on the side of the road. There's only one sign that says no dumping, so you can't dump anything there, but there's no sign that says you can't park there. But you all see why I'm doing this right now? Because imagine trying to do this at 11:30 at night after you just got off from work and now you're trying to find a place. You know, this is why I'm already going to have like a bunch of places I could just click under my saved on my GPS and just drive to it, rather than having to find one in the dark. figure since there's not like a lot that I can do to work on my van this week until next Thursday, I can spend a lot of my free time before work driving around finding camping spots, so that's already done. Starting to snow a little again. So it looked like there's a little boat ramp right up here to the left into here. Oh, it says no parking anytime, so that won't work. I don't know what that was. Maybe that's where you can put your kayak in. It's probably private property. Yeah, there's no street lights out here for sure. Alright, there's a road here. I'm going to go down real quick. So, this looks like there's a school here on the left. And a lot of times, you know, around schools are going to be parks, like public parks or whatever. In most places, I'm not saying here because this is kind of like a very rural area. Yeah, so the main app to use is the iOverlander app, and it does show free camp spots, but there's only like a handful of them in this area, in these surrounding areas. So what I'm trying to do is find more places that aren't on an app that other campers aren't really going to know about. So I know if I go to that spot, there's a better chance that, you know, it will be empty. That's the only downside with iOverlander, is not everybody will check in through the app. And you'll get there and there will be a vehicle there. And I do intend on adding whatever spots I find to the iOverlander app to add more spots in, but maybe not for a few months, you know, while I'm using them to have a place to stay that's safe and close to my job. This real quick. to nothing this way. I just pulled up on my GPS. I just typed in parks, and it looks like see where this one is. Yeah, so it looks like there's quite a few parks around here, but they're from my location 15-20 minutes away, but seeing where they're at, they're still close enough to where my job is, so I don't have enough time to drive to all of those right now because I have to start heading towards my job, and I got about a 25-minute drive to work from here. I gotta be at work by 2 o'clock, so I'm like running out of time. Most actual parks in these areas, they don't have like gates or anything. There's the ones that I've seen, there's not really any signs that say that you can't park there overnight. And then also there's not really much law enforcement presence in these areas. Like, this is patrolled by usually like the state police, and they're very spread out. So like the worst thing that could happen is even if there's no signs, you know, a state police officer could be like, oh, you can't park here. And then you have to move, but... one more spot up here I'm gonna go look at, because I gotta get back to that interstate that we turned off on, and I gotta continue heading north on it. But before that, I wanted to go check out that pull off and check it for signs. Remember, if there's no signs, then you can park there. There will never be a sign that says overnight parking permitted. There just won't be any signs that says that you can't park there overnight. Now, this is only really for the next 5 or 6 months. Will I stay at my current job and save up money for 5 or 6 months to head out west. So I plan on going out west by like fall. And then obviously, you know, I'll be staying at a different place almost every night once I'm on the road full time. I'm shocked that they didn't put like a little park next to that dam right there. Like, where do you pull off to go look at the dam? Usually there's like little overlooks and stuff. Alright, so right up here there's a little parking spot. Let's see, picnic tables, which would mean that, you know, more long term, you could actually park here. Dumping household garbage prohibited. Pass that sign, state vehicles only, because there's like a little salt truck thing there. That's just a historical sign. I don't see any signs here that says I can't park here. Spot. Yeah, I found a pretty good spot right here, and it's well off of the road, so you're not like right off the side of the road. Got this mountain right here. Nice. Well, guys, I found I found a second spot that I could actually stay at. So let me pin this location. I think we're good here. All right. Destinations, pin, save as favorite. Oop. Hold on, it didn't save it. Alright, pinned. Alright guys, I gotta start heading to work. I appreciate all of you. I gotta head back to the interstate now. We'll do this again until I get to like 13 places. So I'll see you all on the next one.